Hello, it's Kevin. It's January 22, January 4th. It's the 4th of January. And today I have to do some albums. So I'm going to do what I've been doing recently, which isn't doing the full albums reviews because it just takes more effort, I feel like. And I have to do it every day. So, but this is probably more helpful for me to just tell you all the albums that are good by the bands that you already are going to listen to. These aren't bands, these are artists. These are three singers that write great lyrics. If you look up some sort of list of the best lyrics in music, these three guys are going to be in it. And I've listened to all their albums because I really like all of their songs. And so yeah, this is telling you all of the best Bob Dylan, Tom Waits, and Leonard Cohen albums, and then all the other ones that you don't need to listen to, but you can because some of them are very good too. Okay, Bob Dylan, self-titled. I love Song for Woody Guthrie. Other than that, let me look at this track list to make sure. It's a cover of Man in Constant Sorrow. It's a cover of Fixin' to Die are cool. How's the Rising Sun? It's okay. The Animals cover is better. Not a perfect 10. Free Will and Bob Dylan, perfect 10 for sure. Blown in the Wind is the first song. Girl from North County, Masters of War, Hard Rain's Gonna Fall, Don't Think Twice, It's Alright. Yeah, 10. Clear 10. Times They Are Changing, might be a 10. It's probably a 10 to a lot of people. I don't think it's a 10. There's a few great songs. One Too Many Mornings, Times They Are Changing, Lonesome Death of Haiti Carroll. Is this a 10? This is very close to a 10. Ugh. I'm giving Dylan a lot of 10s. I'm not giving Times They Are Changing 10. Another Side of Bob Dylan. Is this a 10? Has some of my favorite. It Ain't Me Babe is one of my favorite Bob Dylan songs. Spanish Harlem Incident, what's called Chimes of Freedom, Back Pages. It's a good record. It's not a 10. The only 10 so far is Free Willin'. Bringing It All Back Home, for sure a 10. Start to finish. Maybe his best album. Probably Blonde on Blonde, this, Highway 61 are the three best. Subterranean Homesick Blues, She Belongs to Me, Maggie's Farm, Love Minus Zero, No Limit. Mr. Tambourine Man, It's Alright Mom, Only Bleeding, It's All Over Now. Baby Blue. Clear 10. Maybe his best record. Or this is probably his best record, because his first song is Like a Rolling Stone, and the last song is Desolation Row, and then there's no bad songs on it. I love Ballad of a Thin Man, I love Queen Jane, I love Just Like Tom Thumb's Blues, I love Highway 61, particularly the kazoo noises. Yeah, no bad songs, perfect album, 10. Blonde on Blonde, 10, for sure 10. This might be the best Dylan record. It depends, I guess. I don't know. People have different. This is like the most varied Dylan record, I feel like. Robbie Robertson plays guitar on it. I think Levon plays drums. And yeah. Rainy Day Woman. Everybody Must Get Stoned. Visions of Johanna is one of the greatest lyrical songs ever written. I Want You is one of the best love songs ever written. Stuck Inside a Mobile with the Memphis Blues Again. It's an amazing, seemingly endless, kind of blues, psychedelic storytelling. Leopard Skin Pillbox Hat is one of the best, just kind of fuck you, slutty love type songs, and then it's followed by Just Like a Woman, which is very sincere love song, but also kind of dark and uh, condescending towards the woman. Temporary Like Achilles, I love. Most Likely Your Way and I'll Go Mine's a lot of fun. Fourth Time Around is one of the best songs on the record. It's a rewriting of Norwegian Wood by the Beatles. It's basically Bob Dylan being like, fuck you, John Lennon, you don't know how to write this level. So I think it's mostly kind of a sneak diss at John Lennon, but it's a great song. It's better than Norwegian Wood. Sad-Eyed Lady of the Lowlands, masterpiece, one of the best Bob Dylan songs. There's a million verses. They're all great. Is John Wesley Harding a 10? Nah. I'll Be Your Baby Tonight, All Along the Watchtower. There's some great songs on it. The album isn't start to finish, no skips, so it's not a 10. Nashville Skyline is a 10. This is where Dylan starts his Kermit voice, his Kermit country voice, which is actually prettier than his normal voice, which is basically just talking. Dylan has a few voices. This is why he belongs in the Tom Waits category. Because Tom Waits has his 5 voices that he does, and Dylan has a few different voices. He has his Woody Guthrie fake Southern voice that his first couple albums have. Then he has his snotty, not trying to be in key stuff that's through most of his best 60s records. And then he has the New Morning Nashville Skyline voice, which is great. It's like, oh, you can sing. You can technically sing. Why aren't you singing? He's too cool to sing. He's the first rapper, really. Anyway, Girl from North County, wonderful duet with Johnny Cash. Nashville Skyline Rag is great. To Be Alone with You is one of his best songs. Threw It All Away, Peggy Day are both great. Lay Lady Lay, great. Country Pie, love. Tonight I'll Be Staying Here With You, one of the best closers. It's a great album. Self-Portrait, not a 10. I think this is an underrated album, and I think it's very good and very interesting. I like the covers. He covers himself. There's the version of Quinn the Eskimo on this. This is my favorite version. He covers Paul Simon, kind of sarcastically, it sounds like. He covers a lot of old blues songs. He covers... I think he was intentionally trying to shed an audience that had superficially kind of come to his music and mythologized him to a degree he was uncomfortable with. So he made an intentionally alienating record with Self-Portrait to shed those folks, is my guess. Because I've read books about Bob Dylan, and that's what they told me to think. So now I'm pretending that that's my thought. New Morning is definitely a 10. If Not For You, one of the best Dylan songs. It's just a beautiful love song. On YouTube right now, you should go Google just George Harrison and Bob Dylan playing If Not For You acoustic. It's one of the best clips on all of YouTube. Day of the Locust, I love. The Locust sang off in the distance for you and me. Time Passes Slowly is a good song. When You're Lost in a Dream. All these songs are good. Went to See the Gypsy. If Dogs Run Free is kind of corny jazz, but I like it. The song New Morning is one of the best songs on the record, as is One More Weekend. It's a great love song. Again, a kind of sexy libidinous. I should have thesauruses. That's what I think would make me a great music reviewer, is if I just used the sources, and then I wrote sentences before I reviewed it. The Man in Me, fantastic song. It's my brother's wedding song. It's in Big Lebowski. It's a great song. Great album, top to bottom. New Morning, 10. Pat Garrett and Billy and the Kid. This isn't a 10. There's clips of movie. You can't argue that this is no skips. But it has Knockin' on Heaven's Door on it, which is one of the best songs ever. 73, Dylan. We're kind of back into self-portrait mode where he's doing these kind of sarcastic covers. It's not great. Planet Waves is actually underrated. I think Mark Knopfler plays guitar on some of this record, as he does on Blood on the Tracks, which is one of the best Dylan records. And this has the Fast Forever Young on it, and the Slow Forever Young. I love both. I like the Fast better. There's a few good songs on it, but definitely not a 10. Blood on the Tracks, definitely a 10. Blood on the Tracks is a perfect album. Tangled Up in Blue, Simple Twist of Fate, You're a Big Girl Now, Idiot Wind. I love Idiot Wind. I love You're Gonna Make Me Lonesome When You Go. I love Meet Me in the Morning. I love Lily, Rosemary, and the Jack of Hearts. This little stretch from track 4 to 7 is my favorite part of the record. And then If You See Her Say Hello or Shelter of the Storm, Buckets of Rain. Shelter of the Storm, Buckets of Rain is just one of the most beautiful ways to close an album. Tangled Up in Blue and Simple Twist of Fate is one of the most beautiful ways to open an album. And I told you that the middle album is my favorite. Obviously, this is a 10. This is one of the greatest Dylan albums. This is one of the greatest albums, period. Basement Tapes is next. I need to do the whole band discography. This is more like a band album than a Dylan album to me. Dylan wrote a lot of band songs. He wrote a lot of music from the Big Pink, like Wheels on Fire, I Shall Be Released. He wrote later stuff, like When I Paint My Masterpiece. So Dylan writes songs for the band. This is Dylan writing songs for the band. It's an amazing album. This album is a 10, but I'll cover this album when I do the band. Desire is a 10. Hurricane, Isis, Mozambique, One More Cup of Coffee, Oh Sister Joey, Romance in Durango, Black Diamond Bass, Sarah. No Filler, fantastic album. Has a different songwriter on it. It's the only like full-on collabo album he did with, let me see, Jacques-Louis Levy. Jacques Levy wrote this album with Dylan, and it has a more straightforward romantic quality to it than most Dylan. It's not as cerebral and free associative. It's more love stuff. But One More Cup of Coffee, Isis, these are as good as any Bob Dylan songs. Street Legal, not a 10, buddy. Yeah. Senor. Is Senor what's supposed to be good on this record? I don't know. Slow Train Coming. Now we're full-blown Christian, Dylan. Why does every artist need to pretend to be Christian? Christian art is never good. This is a prime example of how stupid a genius is when they pretend to be Christian. Saved, even worse. I'm not even doing Saved. Shot of Love. Terrible Christian bullshit, but at least this one's produced by Daniel Lanois, so it doesn't sound as instrumentally terrible. Infidels is a 10. If you do not think Infidels is a 10, I question your Dylan loyalty. Infidels is great. It's just a very different kind of record than the 70s, 60s records. but it's a perfect record. Joker Man. Yeah, it's a very good record. It has almost like a reggae 80s. It's the only 80s Dylan that actually sounds like it's made in the 80s. Empire Burlesque, not a good album. Not a 10, not close. Knocked Out Loaded, not a 10. Down in the Groove, not a 10. Dylan and the Dead, for sure, not a 10. I have some live shows from this tour that are much better representations of these two collaborating. The Grateful Dead are one of my favorite bands. Dylan is one of the best songwriters ever. This album is atrocious. It's badly recorded. They didn't pick good songs or performances. And it's kind of the peak of Dylan's bad songwriting, mixing with the peak of the Dead being uninspired as improvisers. So it's just kind of like two of my favorite artists meeting at their worst, and the results are bad. Oh Mercy is good. Is Oh Mercy a 10? This might be the Lanois one. This might be the Daniel Lanois one, not the Shot of Love. Shot of Love is terrible garbage. I don't imagine Daniel Lanois produced that. I was thinking of Oh Mercy, not Shot of Love. The covers are similar to me. I listen to all these discographies. I just download discographies and then I listen to every record by every band. So yeah, get them confused. Usually remember them by which songs are on them. And sometimes I don't know the names of the songs. But No Mercy is a good record. It's kind of a return to form. Not a 10. Under the Red Sky, not a 10. Good As I've Been to You, not a 10. World Gone Wrong, not a 10. Time Out of Mind, Love and Theft, Modern Times. 10s. We're back in 10s. Time Out of Mind is one of his later masterpieces. Modern Times, Love and Theft is great. Modern Times, thinking about Alicia Keys, dude. I've been thinking about Alicia Keys. I think we all think about Alicia Keys. Why wouldn't you think about Alicia Keys? Christmas in the Heart. God bless Dylan for making an earnest, like, octogenarian Christmas record. Not very good. Together Through Life, okay, not a 10. Tempest, very good, not a 10. Shadows in the Night, is this when he's a crooner? Yes. You thought he had those four voices I mentioned. He also is a Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett style crooner. And he has a bad voice. And he's singing music that nobody's listened to for 40 years. This is kind of the most punk rock Dylan album. I want to respect it. I want it to be better than it is. It's not very good. Fallen Angels, not very good. Triplicate, not very good. Rough and Rowdy Ways just came out the year before last. And it's very good. But it's not a 10. Time Out of Mind, Love and Theft, Modern Times. There's the last Dylan 10s. Hopefully I'll make another 10 before he croaks. Leonard Cohen. Or should I do Tom Waits? Well, I pulled up Leonard Cohen, so I guess we're doing Leonard Cohen. Okay. Leonard Cohen albums. Here we go. iTunes albums. The first Leonard Cohen songs of Leonard Cohen is a 10. Suzanne. Sisters of Mercy. So Long, Marianne. It's a 10. It's a great song. It's like folk rock. It's wonderful. Songs for a Room is a 10. It's better than the first one. Bird on a Wire is one of my favorite songs ever. The album is great. If you like folky stuff, you'd probably like it. Uh, New Skin for the Old Ceremony is not a 10. Chelsea Hotel Number 2 is the best song about having sex with Janis Joplin. So take that. Looks Like Rain. Two Cats. Have you ever wakened to the sound of two stray cats making love and thought from their cries you were listening to the fight? To a fight. But don't you know that hate's just the last thing they're thinking of? They're only trying to make it through the night. But I still... Yeah, no. Not even close. Giving me head on the unmade bed while the limousines wait in the street. That's how you fuck Janis Joplin. Death of a Ladies' Man. Not a great album. Not a 10. Recent songs? Not a 10. Various Positions? I mean, it has Hallelujah on it, but it's not a 10. Hallelujah should be a 10, I guess, but the rest of this album is kind of boring. I'm Your Man is not boring at all. The whole album is really good. Everybody knows I'm Your Man, First We Take Manhattan. Tower of Song is one of the greatest songs ever recorded. I'm Your Man is probably its best record. That's for sure a 10. Field Commander Cohen, 10. New songs. Dear Heather, Popular Problems, Can't Forget, Old Ideas, Thanks for the Dance. Not 10s. Last album, You Want It Darker, 10. Back to 10s. I appreciate an artist that can give me one more 10 on the way out. Then I have to do Tom Waits, because he's the other anointed third best lyricist of rock music, even though he never played rock music. He kind of played rock music for a little bit, but he started out as like a crooner, like a shittier version of Billy Joel, whose voice and vocals are more like Bruce Springsteen. And yeah, his early stuff, fans love, but it's bad. Closing Time, Heart of Saturday Night, Small Change, Foreign Affairs, Blue Valentine, One from the Heart of Me. These are all mediocre records. They're fine. If you like Tony Bennett, you like early Billy Joel. Piano Man is better than any song on Closing Time. Substantially better. But yeah, he was just kind of a mediocre theater kid, crooner guy with, modest instrumental ability. It was pretty unremarkable. Then he had like an epiphany, a transformation, and he started to make really weird music that utilized a bunch of unconventional percussion instruments, a bunch of weird voices, or he's singing out of his register and doing these characters and stuff. Then his music all of a sudden becomes really interesting. Kind of like the Bowie, once he becomes like Ziggy Stardust or whatever, it's like, oh, it's a new playing field. Swordfish Trombones, 10. First weird Tom Waits album, Shore Leave, 16 Shells from 30-06, Soldier Things. These are still some of the best Tom Waits songs. Rain Dogs is his second best album. It's very good. Singapore, Clap Hands, Cemetery, Polka Jockey, Full of Bourbon, Tangled to Their Shore, Big Black Mariah. I think Keith Richards plays on 2 of these songs. Time is his best ballad. The song Rain Dogs is incredible. Ninth and Hennepin's my favorite poem. Gun Street Girl might be my favorite song on this record. It's the one I listen to the most because I put it on mixes a lot. Walking Spanish is great. Anywhere I Lay My Head, best closer on a Tom Waits record. If you like Tom Waits, listen to Rain Dogs. It's most people's favorite Tom Waits album. Frank's Wild Years is kind of like a play. It's not a 10. There's a lot of stuff that you want to skip. The title track, Frank's Wild Years, is great. That's not even on the album, Frank's Wild Years. I don't think. I don't see it on iTunes. iTunes doesn't have everything, so you're getting incomplete discographies. Oh well. When I pull them up on the internet, then you can just hear me clicking all the time. You can barely hear me. Bone Machine 10 for sure. This is the best Tom Waits record. My favorite songs: Going Out West, I Don't Want to Grow Up. Black Wings is my favorite song. All Stripped Down might be my favorite song. Dirt in the Ground, Such a Scream. Murder in the Red Barn, in the Coliseum. This whole album is perfect to me. Then Black Rider, not a 10. Pretty good. Jesus Blood has never failed me yet, not a 10. Mule Variations is a 10. Big in Japan, Get Behind the Mule, Cold Water, Black Market Baby. Black Market Baby is one of the all-time great Tom Waits songs. The lyrics of this song are amazing. Beautiful song. Picture in a Frame is a great ballad in that register of Tom that I don't like. I don't like the singy Tom Waits. Chocolate Jesus, one of the best songs ever. Perfect 10 record. Blood Money, 10. Misery's the River of the World, great opener. Everything Goes to Hell, one of my favorite Tom Waits songs. There's a few things that I never could believe. A woman when she weeps, a merchant when he swears, a thief who says he'll pay, a lawyer when he cares, a drunkard when he's... a snake when he's sleeping, a drunkard when he prays. I don't believe you go to heaven. If you're good, everything goes to hell anyway. All the World's Green, God's Way on Business. It's a great record. It's a great start to finish record. One of my favorite Tom Waits records. The only ones I kind of put above that are the other ones I mentioned. And iTunes has me out of albums again, so I have to open it up again. There's certainly a more efficient way to do this. Okay, Alice. Alice is good. It's not a 10. Has a few great songs on it. Real Gone. Is Real Gone a 10? Real Gone is very good. I like just like the grittiness of like Hoist That Rag and stuff. Make It Rain, Trampled Rose, Dead and Lovely. There's great songs in this. It's not a 10. Bad as Me is not very good. It's not a 10. Night on Earth, for sure not a 10. So, those are all the good albums by the three best lyricists of all time. So, if you want to listen to albums by these bands, none of them are bands. They're all artists. They're all just a drunk dude. They're not drunk. They're all just whatever. I'm not narcissistic. They're all I don't think they think they're musicians. I think they think that they're authors.